everybody, it's Phil
and Brandon,
writer
and artist
of Magic Cop, our newest graphic novel from Zaid Comics, live here on Indiegogo.
So jump in on the action with us with this trailer right now.
What's up, motherfuckers? We're gonna kick off this stream right after this ad from my friends at Zaid Comics. Check out their Indiegogo in the description. Zaid Comics.
Thanks for...
What's up, motherfuckers? Chris Wiki coming at you with a new podcast of sorts. We're here night three of me talking movie news. I think don't expect these every night. We are coming off a D3 weekend. Mickey Mouse been swinging around his King Kong dong all weekend, and now we're into Monday. I think news is gonna start turning down, but apparently some real cringy Star Wars shit dropped. And that's what we're going to check out today. And if there's people hanging out, we're going to go down the whole playlist of YouTube influencers who talked about this. And I haven't watched because I've been waiting to watch it with you guys right fucking now. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's, how about we just jump into it? Yeah. Here we go with The Rise of Skywalker D3 special look. Have you guys seen it? I'm worried. I'm worried about what I'm about to see. But let's check it out anyway. This is not what I'm looking for. Did I fuck up my whole thing already?
We've passed on all we know.
No, this is it.
1,000 generations live in you now.
Where's my Mace Windu saber?
But this is your fight.
It's all been building up to this. Raylo. I don't like this emotional manipulation showing the old shit.
Your journey
Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of my face with that. Oh my gosh. Oh, what pandering garbage. Let's all right, first let's rewatch right from where we Okay, I think that's the first time that we're going to see them cinematically throwing a lightsaber and then having it come back like in the video games. So, okay. All right. I don't think, has that ever been in a Star Wars movie before? In an actual movie, someone throwing the lightsaber and then it coming back and them catching it like boomerang? Because I'm pretty sure it's just a video game thing. But, yeah. What comes next? He has a dumb lightsaber, too.
Yes, it's in.
That's dumb! That's stupid. Oh man, I can't even believe that's real. I thought that the thumbnails I kept seeing, they looked Photoshop. Here, let's just start this from the beginning, because this is supposed to be a trailer for the movie, and just look at the drop off from beginning to end. I haven't watched this before I started this stream. Not fucking with you guys. I had no plan going in here, but A New Hope. A New Hope, A New Hope, A New Hope. New Hope. Empire. 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 Return of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi. Clone Wars. No. Phantom Menace. Clone Wars. Revenge of the Sith. They only show one clip from each of those. Force Awakens. Force Awakens. Last Jedi. Bunch of characters nobody cares about. Video game stuff.
Yes, it's in.
Damn. That doesn't look cool. Looks pretty weak. You know what would have made all that work if instead of like doing the last 20 minutes of The Last Jedi, right when after Kylo Ren slices in half, what's his name? Not the Emperor. No, what is his fucking name? Whoever Andy Serkis played. Once he sliced in half the stand-in Emperor character, they should have left on a cliffhanger on whether she would join the dark side, but then she didn't. And now they're teasing that she might, and she has that stupid switchblade lightsaber. It's so fucking lame. it's like they took all this original footage of all this stuff they didn't do. They put it in order, like it's all building up to this, and the final frame of the thing that you see looks like a fucking fan film. It looks like something that I would make in my living room if I had like some blue screens up. I could make that switchblade stupid ass lightsaber. Let's can we take a peek at that one more time? I mean, let's all right. Let's look at all this shit. Look at how cinematic. Look how iconic every frame of the shit that they're showing looks. Every frame is fucking iconic. Every frame is iconic.
We've passed on all we know.
Every frame that they use, even the stuff from these fucking prequels.
1,000 generations live in you now.
Awful movies or not, these shots
This
are
is your fight.
even from Force Awakens, but yes, even that. But that's kind of a cool shot. It's like they spent the entire second movie jerking off. So it's like, I mean, they had a whole movie to build up Poe and Faye. Poe and Rey and Finn. Loved all those characters in the first movie. And they did nothing with any of them. And now we're at the third movie and just like, okay. A million Star Destroyers!
Your journey. Yes, it's in.
What? Is that Darth Vader? What a fucking joke. I'm gonna see it just to... I mean, it's like, it's just, you have to see it. It's like, we dare you. We dare you not to. It's like, you gotta find out what the fuck they're gonna do. What do you guys think of that shit? Okay, and it's called, okay. Alright. You didn't even see Spider-Man? Yeah. Not digging that trailer. The end was pretty much just as cringy as everyone said it was gonna be, but who is everyone? I put off watching all my YouTube playlists today because of I wanted to wait to see the trailer with you guys. So
as you can see, there's a new trailer out for the next Star Wars movie called The Rise of Skywalker, and I do not give a fuck. However, I do like mocking
Sargon of Akkad.
I mean, I was never a massive fan of it anyway. I mean, I appreciate it for what it was, but I was never a huge fan. Most of all, I enjoy the breakdowns that everyone does, and I enjoy doing them myself from time to time. So I figured that what I'd do
if I get too bored, I'm just
going
to skip.
And just go through and see how unbelievably shit they look. Because let's be honest, just judging by these fucking screenshots at the front, these look awful. So we begin with Mary Sue.
No, we're not going to sit through that
Allow
one.
me to regale you with a little anecdote.
This is a critical drinker. If you guys have not heard of this guy's YouTube channel, he's way better than me. I don't need to tell you that.
Nearby. And
Look
I'm
up the
talking
critical drinker.
really drunk, like his eyes were pointing in different
And,
directions,
sub
and
to
there
him.
was a suspiciously
You'll
large
see how
stain
funny
around
he
the
is right
crotch
here.
of his jeans. Then he lost his grip on his takeaway prize, and it fell all over the road beside him. But without missing a beat, he bent down to pick up the meaty debris, and promptly face planted, only to stagger to his feet and try again. It was a pitiful sight, and I probably should have turned away, and yet I couldn't help but stare in horrified fascination at the ridiculous and embarrassing disaster playing out in front of me. Which brings me neatly along to Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. It turns out a new trailer got released today, and since the entire internet seems to be making reaction videos, it seemed only fair to add my drunken perspective to the mix. But mine is the only one you should listen to. The trailer begins with an extended montage, and by extended, I mean it takes up more than half the entire runtime of iconic scenes and characters.
Instead of making a good video, I'll just make a shit video and follow it up with people who did a better job than me.
From the original trilogy, and it plays out like the memorial reel from the Oscars because most of those involved have been killed off by now. Thanks, Disney. Now I have to admit, this kind of stuff got the nostalgia going pretty hard. Remember when Star Wars movies were actually good? Remember when they told fresh and exciting stories featuring interesting characters with compelling story arcs, played by actors with actual charisma and screen presence? Remember when romance between men and women
Remember,
was still
check
allowed
out the
to
critical
happen?
drinker.
Remember when seeing a Star Wars movie was a magical experience that stirred feelings of wonder
guy.
and epic adventure and opened your eyes to a whole world of infinite possibilities? Well, forget about that, because it's time to talk about Disney Star Wars in this trailer, which finally trundles out after more than a minute of nostalgia baiting. So it opens up with a plank of wood walking through the desert with her two mates, who are so deeply entrenched in the friend zone, they're gonna need ice axes and rappelling gear to get out. Why does Poe look like Nathan Drake all of a sudden? So it looks like they've rocked up to an outdoor music festival. There's kites and fireworks and all kinds of nice thing going on. Excellent, that's exactly where I'd head during a galactic civil war. Then there's a shot of Carrie Fisher to remind us that Leia is still alive. And to be honest, that wasn't an entirely wasted effort, because I was honestly getting hazy on whether the character was alive or dead in this trilogy. Then I guess it's time to remind us there's still a war happening amongst these stars. So we get a quick shot of a rebel fleet jumping out of hyperspace. Looks like there's no Ryan Johnson space bombers this time around. What a shame, I really appreciated them. Followed by a First Order battle fleet that looks like the special effects guys just said fuck it and allowed
What's
the
up,
copy paste
SJF?
function to keep running as long as it
Is
fucking
that-
wanted. Although weirdly,
Time
these
out.
don't look like the big fat Star Destroyer.
Wait, SJF, is he Scottish? Are you Scottish? What are you then? Isn't it? Shrimp on the barbie now, isn't it? I'm righty well Scottish now, isn't it? That's my Scottish impression. Did I nail it? How can you tell that that's not English accent? That could be English, Australian. I thought he was South African, maybe. How do you tell the difference? You guys all talk funny. It's crazy. Not like people from Chicago. We talk all good.
Used by the First Order. These are original.
By the way, this is the Critical Drinker. If you're not following or sub to him on YouTube, go type in the Critical Drinker.
Ones from the days of the Empire. Maybe the Empire itself is coming back. Or maybe JJ just said fuck it as well. Then it seems like C-3PO was turned into a Terminator for some reason. And why not, eh?
Oh,
He's still
Francis.
better than the Apple Genius from Dark Fate at least. Fix my fucking iPhone, you prick. I get to see Rey training in the forest by throwing her lightsaber around and catching it like Captain America's shield. And she looks mad about something.
No, like
she's
in
struggling
Star
to
Wars
contain her
Battlefront.
negative
It's a video
emotions.
game thing.
What
I don't
could
think
this
it's
be
ever been in a
hinting at,
movie.
I wonder. Then there's a shot of Kylo Ren trying to look hard as he ignites his lightsaber, as if we'll just forget that he already got beat twice by a girl. Speaking of which, it looks like they're going at it again. Oh no, I'm on the edge of my seat, wondering whether our plucky hero can defeat the evil villain this time around. But who exactly is the evil villain, you might ask? The trailer leaves the biggest shock for last, as we bear witness to Rey dressed all in black, awkwardly igniting a red double-bladed lightsaber, and then
Very
it opens
strange.
up like a Nokia flip phone to
Yeah.
become like Darth Maul's dual saber.
Except lame as
What
fuck.
the fuck even is this? How could a weapon like this possibly be useful? I mean, what if you triggered the unfold function at the wrong moment? It could cut your fucking legs off.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a disaster. This trailer, and I suspect the movie itself, is a prime example of what people do when they know they've fucked up big time, but they don't really understand why or how to fix it, so they just throw everything they have at the problem and hope something will stick, or they'll get points for effort at least. Remember how long-time fans were mad that their favourite characters were being killed off, dishonoured and generally abandoned by the new trilogy? Well, let's fix that by bringing back more OT characters. We need a new overarching antagonist, and everyone remembers the Emperor, so let's just resurrect him and throw him into the mix. Remember Anakin Skywalker's tragic fall to the dark side in the prequels? Well, let's tease the idea that Rey will go down the same path. The idea that their favourite good guy will fall into darkness, and Kylo Ren, the last Skywalker, will have to rise to defeat her. That'll get people excited, right? And it'll make us look smart into the bargain. No, it won't. Firstly, because nobody really likes or cares about Rey to begin with. And secondly, because there's nowhere for her to fall from. When you don't have a personality to begin with, turning good or evil doesn't have
I'm
much
excited
meaning
to see it,
because nobody knows
Ghostbusters,
what their
man.
original intent
That's for
even
sure.
was. Anyway, the idea that the most Mary Sue of Mary Sues will actually turn evil and be defeated by Kylo Ren is about as plausible as a gender studies degree leading to a profitable career. A move like that would involve imagination, risk, skill, and intelligence, and those aren't qualities our man JJ deals in. And what's with the obsessive nostalgia baiting? It's a nice idea in theory
The second
to
I saw
tie
the
the new
Suns.
Disney movies into the Skywalker saga, but unfortunately it invites unfavourable comparisons with the original movies, and really it does nothing except shine a giant spotlight on how the new movies utterly fail to measure up to them in
Exactly.
every possible way. It also
Exactly.
comes across as a lame and desperate attempt to tie this diabolical abortion
I
of a
really
story
disliked The
into a
Last Jedi
narrative that
Ghostbusters,
concluded
man,
more than
but that's
30
cool
years
if you
ago
liked it.
and had absolutely no reason to keep going. Not to mention trying and failing to convince us
I hated
that
The
Rey
Last
has
Jedi.
any stake, personal history,
I passed out
or
drunk
meaningful place
during
in the
it on a
Skywalker
Thursday
saga.
night
As if
screening,
all of
and then I
this,
went back for
all
a
of the
matinee at
conflicts and
like
epic adventures
noon
were
the
part of
next
some
day,
grand plan,
and I wasn't
all
even
built
that
up to this
hungover,
boring
but I'm
plank
just
of
like,
wood.
I paid for
It's a
this
bit like
twice.
claiming
I
the
spent like
pyramids of Egypt
$35
were
to see that
thousands of
fucking
years
movie
ago,
twice, and I
so they
hated
could
it.
culminate in a tourist information kiosk selling overpriced postcards in 2019. Everyone with half a brain sees Rise of Skywalker for what it really is, a desperate cash grab with
By the way,
not
these
an
are the
ounce
words of the
passion
critical
or
drinker.
originality to
If you
be
think
found
this
in
guy
its
is funny,
entire production.
definitely
Oh well,
follow
bringing
him
this
on
back to my charming anecdote from the
YouTube.
start of this video, at least my night out
We're just
ended
going
with a
through
free taxi
all the
ride
shit I
home,
missed
even
today.
if the driver didn't intend it that way. But I
missed some of
suspect
this 'cause I'm
anyone who
talking over
actually
it.
pays to see this disaster at the cinema will have both a wasted evening and wasted money to deal with. And I'm not about to do that when there's more worthy things I could spend it on. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Go away now.
I like the critical drinker. Oh, here's the real rejects.
5 in the morning. No.
Let's see what these guys think about. They are the top dogs in
Anywho, guys, we got a Rise
you guys
of
don't know the real
Skywalker
rejects,
special look. We're gonna
check
cover
out the
this
real
right now. Before we
REEL
go into
rejects.
that,
They
I wanted
are
to say
a
thank
channel
you
that will
once
always
again
be
to
bigger
all
than
ya
me.
beautiful sons
As long
of
as anyone
bastards
who
have
comes
followed
up
us on the
next.
Stardust app. Over there, we do 30-second reaction reviews for any film, TV show, and or trailer. We post regularly.
I would also
You
like to
can post
bang
too.
Evil
The whole
Ray.
thing is free. You can download and use. Free stuff.
Will
is
John
better
Rambo
than
be in
any
it?
Stuff.
I don't
So
know.
I say, do it today.
don't know.
Link in description box.
I shouldn't
More
itch my
Disney
nose
stuff.
on camera. I shouldn't drink Bud Light with lime on camera either. It's not good. Not a good look.
Stop.
Endgame.
We really are coming full circle, aren't we?
Full circle.
As long as they're good.
It's like a series of missteps. It's like 3 good movies and then just like a guy falling down an infinite number of stairs straight to hell.
We've passed on all we know. A 1,000 generations live in you now. This is your fight.
This is all Ray's vision right here.
Are you kidding me, Ghostbusters, man? My channel's pretty silly. This isn't the only stuff I do, though. I do a lot of different. I do a lot of different stuff here. Live broadcasting is a new thing. I never used to have a computer before. Now I have 2 computers.
Whoa!
Was never able to broadcast like this.
Yes, dude, I can't wait for this fight. Oh damn.
Oh!
It's him.
Okay, good. I'm glad you like my stuff. I'm gonna start putting out real videos more pretty soon, and like real edited videos that I like shoot, and then I edit.
I heard about
This
it.
live broadcasting stuff.
I
It's
heard
a
about it,
different.
though, but
It's
I
a
didn't
different
realize it
type
would
of
go, like, in
complicated.
form like that,
Yeah.
kind of like a Darth Maul lightsaber.
You can either have it be 2
But I miss
lightsabers up here
editing,
that are hard to hold,
like,
or 1
videos
double-edged
together.
lightsaber.
I
with
wonder
all
if
the
that's real.
bells
They
and
wouldn't just
whistles.
give away something like that.
They'll be
Trailer,
balanced
would they? That
soon.
Ray just turns
Thank you for the
bad.
support.
Or well,
Or is it
it's
like
either
it's got to be like a
it's
vision
either
or something. That's just
dreamer
happening.
vision, or they change the rules or something. You know.
Yeah, because I've heard that theory that Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker, could be in reference to Kylo Ren. You know, because he's an actual Skywalker. By blood could be a reference to that. And it would be a cool flip. I
These
just feel like
dingalings
they
are
wouldn't give
boring
it
me.
in the trailer. I mean,
What's
you know what I
next?
mean? Especially.
I think the rise of
Oh,
Skywalker,
actually-
it doesn't answer anything.
Nerderotic.com.
This guy,
Please subscribe.
mad props
Greetings,
to
everybody. Welcome back. It looks
nerderotic.com.
like
If
they
you
did
don't,
indeed drop the Rise of Skywalker
if you
footage
don't know
from
this
D23, and
guy,
the cries
go
of
follow
Star
his
Wars
channel.
Is Saved will resume again, even though
He
Doom
brought
Pack
a
and I talked
lot
about
of
this in
attention to Drunken
on why
Atheist
it's not
Studio.
saved.
He is
Star
the
Wars
reason
is
that my
pretty much
number
dead,
one most
and
viewed
it's
video on
Disney's just trying to
YouTube
get
is the
this
number
over.
one most viewed
Alright,
video
they
because
wanna
he
go right
showed
back
it
to the
to
past and
his
probably
audience.
circle the
It's what,
wagons
called Gal Gadot is no
and figure out their
SJW.
game plan to move forward. In the meantime, they can throw a Mandalorian.
He
and
shared it when he
Obi-Wan
was talking
at
about how
you,
Brie,
maybe
how Gal
quietly
Gadot
get
is
rid of
beloved
Kathleen
by
Kennedy
everyone, but Brie
and restart
Larson
this
has
whole
this
thing and
negative
maybe win back
impact,
some of the
is
fans,
negative
but like I said in my
reaction,
last
while
video,
Gal Gadot
once
is the
soy
opposite
melts, you go
reaction,
right back
and
into the Luke Skywalker
he used
ain't
my
coming
video
back.
as an example.
So, we start
Gal
out
Gadot is
abandoning
no
the comics
SJW
because
by
this is a
Drunken
very
Atheist
short clip,
Studio.
and this clip includes
Cacao.
original trilogy and prequel footage that I don't want to show. Not that I don't like it, I don't want to besmirch it with this new footage, but I'm forced to do so because there's a voiceover. I'm going to be pausing a lot so I don't get hit with a copyright strike, and I might still get hit with one. Who cares? But, bounding into comics, watch Rey wields
What's up, Chris?
double-bladed red
Good morning.
lightsaber in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker footage from D23, and this is typical J.J. Abrams. He just amps everything
SCS,
up. He
I
doesn't
don't think
necessarily
Ghostbusters
make
Man
anything
is a
better,
troll.
although it looks better if you're looking at it while you're
My 6
distracted
favorite
by
Star
something
Wars
else.
movies
So
in
Star
order.
Trek is a series, Star Wars fans, about the Starship Enterprise, and it had Captain Kirk, Spock, and Bones, Dr. McCoy. You might have heard of them. And they've had some other shows like The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. Well, J.J. Abrams
No,
tried
my
to
brother-
remake that, and all he did
Time
was
out.
take Star Trek, the original cast.
Because I can't divide, I can't split my attention. My, I'm 34. My brother is 8 years younger than me. And he loves the prequels because guess how old he was? You guys do the math. I'm 34 in 2019, 8 years younger than me. How old was someone 8 years younger than me when in 1999 when episode 1 came out? The prequels are a part of a bunch of kids' childhood. And I was even in middle school when the first one dropped, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, I understand why the prequels are awful, but I have all three of them on DVD. Yes, maybe it's because I worked for Blockbuster and I got them for $3 a pop in the special editions. Maybe that's why I own them. I wouldn't have gone out of my way to buy them if I didn't work for Blockbuster, but I still pop them in every now and then. You know, I remember before, what is it, The Force Awakens came out. I marathon that. Oh, man, I miss, and we'll never get that again, the build up to The Force Awakens. Like, that was a big thing because all of YouTube was ablaze to it. The bad lip reading, the bad lip reading Star Wars videos, amazing, still funny. Bushes of Love, all the songs that came out of bad lip reading for the build up to Force Awakens. Red Letter Media, The Weekly Planet, or Mr. Sunday Movies on YouTube. The commentary tracks that they did for the first 3 Star Wars movies. I don't think they did the prequels, but it was like so much Star Wars for like a full month. Just me watching all Star Wars and partying up until The Force Awakens. I remember having being so excited and having so much fanning out and getting excited before J.J. Abrams for the first one came out, and to see what my attitude is like now and the state of everything and how Star Wars Land is folding and how Solo, which I predicted when they first said that they were going to make a Solo movie, like, that's not going to work. And it did worse than I could have ever imagined. But, yeah, to see, I wish so much that we could build, and Mandalorian, actually, if you guys watch my Mandalorian trailer reaction, you'll see that actually kind of got that spark back up in me. But watching this shit has got me still just like, oh, God, what are they doing? I think I made my point. What are you saying? It's like choosing which pile of dog shit you prefer, though. Yeah, exactly. 6 when episode 1 came out, like The Phantom Menace, but Attack of the Clones is bad. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't know why everyone hates Attack of the Clones the most, because I thought that the little kid shit in Phantom Menace is pretty bad. But then I think it's because of Darth Maul and the pod race that people give Phantom Menace a little bit of a boost. I just remember, like, they all kind of bleed together. Hayden Christensen is actually objectively a worse actor than the little boy Anakin in The Phantom Menace, to be honest. It's atrocious, his performance. Like, it's a lot of it is them sitting in these green screen rooms and just acting atrociously. But that's beside the point. Let's not get deep dive shit talking. I don't even give a fuck about Jar Jar. Jar Jar Binks is the least of those movies' worries. Seriously, he's not bad compared to, like, everything else. He's probably like number 23 on the 50 worst things about the prequels is Jar Jar Binks. I would say, just picking a random number, I would say 23, because those movies have so many problems. Typically Tiffany, how you doing? RB, what's up, RB? Chris, Mandalorian does look good, but they've got me excited too many times now. I am jaded. I feel that. No, Jar Jar wouldn't make it in Sesame Street. Yeah. Phantom Menace is easily worse than Attack of the Clones. Okay, thank you. Again, my dog shit metaphor, though. Tiffany, I'm good. Chris, have you seen the Phantom edit of Jar Jar removed? It definitely improves it. No, I haven't. People need to make up their mind about The Last Jedi because they say it ain't original. Well, when they did Force Awakens, they said it was much like the originals. I don't have a problem with The Force or The Last Jedi being original. I have a problem with it being an objectively bad film overall. If it was just a sci-fi movie about a band of people running away from a tyrannical space Nazis with a ship chase and all this stuff, and then two people were to stow away and had no connection to Star Wars, even in the thing, it's just a bad movie. It's just not a good movie. It's strange. It's in context of Star Wars, it's a bizarre movie. In context, it's just a standalone screenplay. It's a bizarre movie. I just really do not like The Last Jedi. It's bizarre. It's like if you put it in blocks, you stack the blocks together. Then this happens, and this happened, and this happened. It's just like, how much money did you spend on this? It's like, no, was anyone editing this? Was anyone like tapping on someone's shoulder? It's like Rian Johnson and just like, hey, you know what? You're George Lucas. No one's gonna question anything you do. Just fucking run with it. And end result. Ugh. You've seen Last Jedi 11 times? Are you kidding me? I guess we do, Chris. Oh yeah. What about you know what the second because I mentioned that I saw it on a Thursday screening at like a 7 o'clock showtime, but I hadn't gone to bed the night before, so I passed out drunk halfway through that movie because I stayed up all night and all day prepping up for Star Wars and passed out in the middle of the movie, and I was like, fuck. So I went home. I went home at like 10, passed out, woke up all nice and fresh, started pre-gaming, just kidding, and I went and saw it sober, stone cold sober, not hungover, not grumpy or anything. And it was at the point I was just like, I go through all that casino shit. Nothing makes sense. Like, oh, we're going to go meet this guy at the casino planet. But then we don't because we did something stupid. Now we're in a jail cell with this other guy who claims he could do the same thing. So I'm like, okay, so I guess abandon our mission and hook up with this weird hobo. And then he's able to open the prison gate for no reason. And then it's so dumb. It's so bad. It's so bad. Nothing makes sense in that fucking movie. What? Who's getting wrecked? Learn that trick where he dies from the porgs. Porgs are mighty porgs, the loose master that make him drink the medic milk. That might be true. Wasn't talking. Oh, yeah. Okay. What is? I don't know. All I could say is that the midichlorian the midichlorian is the only thing that I've seen out of Disney Star Wars except for the pandering. Well, you would say pandering. I still love The Force Awakens. That's a fun movie. I would still watch it again right now. But I don't even care if it's unoriginal or whatever. The Mandalorian is the only thing that is truly, besides the first, the teaser trailer is like, the dark side and the light. The first teaser trailer of Force Awakens, The Mandalorian is the first thing that I've seen since then. It has got me fucking Star Wars pumped. Can't wait for November 12th. Actually, fuck November is a month. I mean, at least if it's gonna get cold, I could watch some new shit on my television. That's what's really important. Thanks, Chris. That's a generous thing to say. Some of them I would say are just not exactly epic, but prequels are far better than the Disney revisions. It's a yes and no. Knights of the Old Republic 2 is the best Star Wars story, better than the original trilogy. Okay. We got Terminator Dark Fate in November. Thank goodness for Terminator Dark Fate. I always wondered what's going to happen next after Terminator Genesis. Oh wait, they're hard rebooting it again. Fantastic. I don't know what to say about Terminator Dark Fate besides that, okay, here we go again. They're going to make another standalone Terminator movie that's not going to get a sequel. Ugh! There's so many weirdos making the decisions in Hollywood, even to this day. It's like, and you know what? You guys, did you hear that Deadpool is done? There's not going to be a Deadpool 3. Disney has already said, we do not plan on making any R-rated superhero movies. So even though they said, yeah, we're going to continue the Deadpool franchise, we'll figure out a way to no, it's not happening. The Deadpool franchise died with Fox getting engulfed by Disney. So that's great. This is a big reason why I'm like, I'm not even mad that Sony is saying fuck you to Disney. It's like, go ahead, Amy Pascal. Go make a couple garbage water Spider-Man movies. And toss in, what's his name, Tom Hardy Venom in there. Make some really 2005 looking shitty superhero movies. That will suck. But at least Disney won't benefit from it anymore. I'm like, I remember when I was like excited. Oh my gosh, they're gonna buy Fox. That means that they're gonna be able to do the X-Men and the Fantastic Four. But now it's just like, oh wait, no, they're probably gonna change the name of it to the X-People. Could you imagine that? And good night to the Alien and Predator franchises. Not that Fox did a fucking good thing with them since the 80s. Like, straight up, they've not done a single goddamn good thing with those franchises since the 80s. It's just money. It's just money on table. It's like, how do you fuck it up so many times? Yeah, independent films. Independent films, like that's a thing that exists anymore. 20, 30 years, they will bring back Ray back. I'm glad that I probably won't live 30 more years, so I won't have to see them drag out Daisy Ridley. Where she ODs on a mix of I think Carrie Fisher was on a plane. She was definitely MDMA was one of the things she was on. She was on ecstasy and like 3 other things. Roy, they're letting standalone Deadpool be R-rated, untouched, but crossover movies with toned down Deadpool. I heard they're not even planning on making it any Deadpool movies. Like, I don't think that Disney, are they gonna put that on Disney Plus? No, Disney Plus has a straight across the board PG-13. That's where it tops out. There's no R-rated stuff. So, I don't know. I'm not holding my breath. There's no announcement. And with Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting Disney Plus. I gotta see the Metachlorians. Spider-Verse sequel will be good. Yeah. Venom was better than MCU Spider-Man movies. No. No, it fucking wasn't. That movie was god fucking awful. Nah, Spider-Man or X-Men 2 is the best X-Men movie by far. X-Men 1 is also better than First Class. Logan is very good though. First Class is also good. Even Days of Future Past is alright. But X-Men 2 is better than most of them. Maybe even Logan. People like to over-romanticize Logan. I mean, it's a good movie, but let's calm down.
Recast them pretty well, and then amped everything up to 11 and made these forgettable messes of a movie with a pretty good cast. So he takes something like a simple fight between Khan and Spock, which would be cool on its own because there's two, like, basically superheroes fighting each other. And he's all, that's not good enough. They need to be on a crashing spaceship into San Francisco.
There is no Fox
that,
anymore.
Yeah, that's typical JJ. So spoilers, at the end of this trailer, there's a lightsaber duel on a raging
Logan
ocean.
is good.
And I'm betting there's ill-tempered sea bass with laser beams flying around too.
Ghostbusters, man. Have you seen my Logan review? It's the first review I shoot with a blue screen and editing and better editing apps on the phone. And I'm very nervous because I shoot it sober. And I'm all like clean cutting it and it's all nice and lit up. Look up Drunken Atheist Studio Logan review. You'll probably get a laugh at how like serious I'm trying to take it, but you'll see in my eyes how nervous I am while I'm by myself trying to film myself. I look like kind of a douche, but I get a laugh out of it every time I watch it. No, I don't bash it. It's a positive review. I liked Logan. Never make videos. Chris, you're the one telling me that I need to stop drinking in order to be able to speak more clearly and not run on sentences and like try to express myself. Now you're telling me to never do it sober.
That Rey's gonna ride and defeat Kylo and then the Emperor. And then we'll find out that she was the key to everything. And that's another J.J. Abrams trope, which we'll get into in just a second. So let's get to the footage. And it starts at the 40-second mark. Again, apologies to all prequel and original trilogy fans. They are the ones who put all of this footage together with the new trilogy. I mean, that is Star Wars sacrilege. All right, let's go. And that looks a lot like the footage from the first trailer, so I'm guessing we're going to be on some MacGuffin mission, kind of like Alias, J.J. Abrams' Alias, where Sydney Bristow was trying to find the Rambaldi device, and she'd have to go to Cairo, Egypt to find a guy named Stan who had the code. She would get to Cairo, Egypt, find out Stan only has half the
I'm going
code,
back to
and
reading
she has
novels.
To go to Honolulu, Hawaii,
So are you
to find
exiting the
Philippe,
stream,
who has the
RB?
other half of the code on a USB drive. She would find Philippe and find out that there's one number missing from the code. That's in
I
Paris,
think Daisy
France, with a guy
Ridley's
named Jack.
okay.
And
I don't have a
then
problem with
she
her
would
acting.
eventually
I haven't
find the
seen her
Rambaldi
anything that
device
she's that
and then
good.
find
I only
out
know
that
her
Sydney
from Star
Bristow
Wars.
was indeed the key to everything. So that's probably what we're going to do, some meandering MacGuffin search. 5 rogues on a spaceship traveling around space.
Disney
kinda like
is the
Farscape,
Illuminati.
Kind of like Blake 7. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, typical J.J. Abrams. This looks like a giant space rave.
You want to know who did Epstein?
Man. Oh, boy.
Oh!
Carry on.
Yeah. Oh!
So
you better not tell! Where you got all those kids from, Epstein? Oh!
There's all the Star Destroyers because
Wouldn't
JJ
wanna
has to
accidentally
amp up everything.
Get suicide in prison.
And is the First Order now the Empire now?
Who's the mouse?
I'm not really understanding. And then I remembered I don't care because this is going to be absolutely
It's too dark.
meaningless.
Let's not make
was
this stream
put
so
here
dark.
Strictly for the trailer.
Have I seen
And
The Lost
that's
Boys?
a lot of reviews I heard.
Yes,
from
I've
The
seen
Force
The Lost
Awakens,
Boys.
especially one by my former co-host, made a lot of sense. His one criticism was it was
No,
like a big long trailer.
Butters did not kill
and that's how it was
Epstein.
cut. It was interconnected scenes that didn't have a lot to do with
Mickey
each
did
other.
Epstein.
Didn't have a lot of substance in between. That's J.J. Abrams. He just wants to get to the cool stuff. He's all about eating his dessert and doesn't really worry about the meal.
Butters
and
is
building
went to the
stuff
cancer
up.
doctor
Again,
today.
amping everything up to 11.
More info on that in the
we're
future.
finally going to give Finn a story.
We need to consult the entire
And
board.
C-3PO having red
around Pickles
eyes
and Friends before we make a public
leads
statement.
me to believe that the one spoiler out there that somehow he gets some information put
He's
in that
okay,
puts him in
don't
battle
worry,
mode
but
or something like that.
shit's gonna get
is true.
weird.
Again, I don't know the spoiler that much because I don't care.
Why is his eyes red?
Big laser beam. Oh, it looks like Star Killer is back. Is Star Killer back? Oh boy. She boomerangs a lightsaber
Lost
because she
Boys.
can do everything better than previous Jedis. 1,000 generations live in her.
Lost Boys 2. I worked at Blockbuster when that direct-to-video DVD came out. And I probably tried to watch it drunk, but I do not remember it. But I worked at Blockbuster Video when Lost Boys 2 dropped. I'm pretty sure. Disney's planning to buy every entertainment IP. They just shut it all down, so we have nothing to do but go outside. That's getting to be what it's like, because if they just like fucking popped the Deadpool balloon and shit, it's like, ugh. Oh my god. I don't want to see a battle mode C-3PO. C-3PO doesn't even need to be in the fucking...
Because she is the key to everything. Here comes Krylo.
Oops.
Big laser beam. Oh, it looks like Star Killer is back. Is Star Killer back? Oh boy. She boomerangs a lightsaber because she can do everything better than previous Jedis.
Never
1,000
seen it
generations
done.
live in her because she is the key to everything. Here
Never
comes
seen it
Krylo.
in the movie.
Oh boy, yeah, that's that just,
Seriously, has someone done the actual throwing a lightsaber boomerang thing? Has that happened outside of a
I'm
video
so
game in a movie?
uninterested in this
There's
film,
9 people
and
here.
I
Somebody
can hear
has
the
watched
cries
Star
right
Wars.
now. Star
Should
Wars
know
is
that
saved.
that has
We'll
happened
resume
in a live
again.
action movie.
And
Let me know.
I just don't know how many
Right
times
now.
people can get suckered. I guess a lot, and this is what Disney relies on. And until you get respected as the fan, you need to be skeptical, in my opinion. I'm going to remain skeptical. Again, if this movie turns out, I will be happy to tell you that. I will come on the internets and tell you that I was wrong about this film. It actually entertained me. It made the whole entire trilogy watchable. It
She's the
undid
first
all
time?
the mistakes of Rianne Johnson. It actually
That
put
is
the soy milk back into
stunning
the
and brave.
But I'm guessing it's not going to do that. But in the
Darth Vader
theme
did
of
the
amping
throwing
everything
lightsaber
up
thing. Did he
till
do that?
11,
What was that? Wait,
Here
yeah.
we go.
Did he do that in Did he do that in
Do it.
Rogue One?
Do it. Oh boy. She's got a double lightsaber that she can put into a Darth Maul lightsaber because she is a woman and she can be fierce and badass just as any
In
Jedi.
Jedi.
And
Oh,
we got
that's
here.
different.
Yep.
The way
Look at
Darth
that.
Vader.
So,
okay, hold it. Stop
that
it,
would've probably
Chris.
been a more
Chris,
interesting
that is
storyline.
not the same. That is not the same. The way Darth Vader throws his lightsaber in Return of the Jedi, he throws it like a geriatric baby, like. "Ugh." They would never do it like that and thing. We're talking about like in the video game, like Star Wars Battlefront or Star Wars Battlefront 2 or Star Wars Battlefront or Star Wars Battlefront 2 of the modern age, where you like like kill like 8 people and the lightsaber flies back and you catch it? Has that ever happened in the movie? In Return of the Jedi, Darth Vader just goes like, he throws it awkwardly and it fucks some stuff up, but it's actually, jump back to that. It's kind of silly. Maybe we'll do that while we're here.
For Rey, if they'd actually done that throughout the 3 films, and maybe they will make her dark at the end. Who knows? Maybe they'll do exactly what they did to Anakin.
Fuck out of here, Chris. I'm not wrong. Alright, fine. What Rey did with that lightsaber, it's canon. Darth Vader did it, it's fine. Plus 1 for Disney. Disney owns Chris with a K a pat on the shoulder because he just got 1 point for them on the scoreboard. Darth Vader went. I want to see if I could throw my Mace Windu saber in the same way that Darth Vader did. All right, here, let's activate it. This is how Darth Vader threw it in Return of the Jedi. Jesus. Forgot my ceiling isn't high enough. It's not the same as I could also whip it at the television boomerang style. I mean, it'll hit my friggin' tripod, the webcam, the 50-inch television screen, and probably both of my speakers. You dare me to friggin'... What the fuck? Oh! Did you hear that? Oh no. Well, I never changed the batteries in this since I bought it. Guess I gotta buy a new one. Yeah, the games did it before Disney got a hold of Star Wars. There was progression to this throwing lightsaber idea. You're just wrong. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Chris. You're wrong. I'm making good points. Well, David. Ray Mall. I'm really speechless here. Well, nothing Rey does is canon because she's not canon either. No, well, she is though. Rey is here. Deal with it. You're right, Ghostbuster Man. I wish your name was Ghostbuster Mon, but it's fine. What else does this guy got to say about this? It's probably something alt-right and misogyny.
In a Revenge of the Sith, he'll be...
Not true. This guy got me so many followers. Or he got me a lot of views on one of my videos. Not many of them followed, as you can see by my sub count.
Cuddling Padme, and 15 minutes later, he's killing younglings.
Where's all my booze?
Which made no sense then, and it would make no sense here. This is something you would have to build up and hint towards through the entire
I gotta
series,
stop talking so
considering
much.
the
That was
kind
like
of writing
piss
we've
warm
gotten
on the
lately,
top.
we had Daenerys in Game of Thrones just turn on a dime, and then they went back and said she didn't just turn on a dime. Remember that one scene 5 years ago where she was mean to somebody? That was hinting towards it. No, it wasn't. So my guess is this is some sort of vision, possibly. We are now in the 3rd film.
Fuck yeah, Shadows of the...
Doomcock brought this up in the Inquisition. We know nothing.
Fuck yeah, Shadows of the Empire should be made a film. Time out. gonna find this fucking thing in the... Oh, God. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Oh, God damn it! Fuck! Alright, I'm not doing it. I got wet socks now because of what just happened. I knocked over the drink I was drinking. It sprayed on me on my leg. I got wet socks and slippers because of this. What I was trying to show you is a fucking I was just trying to show you my N64 copy of Shadows of the Empire. Trust me, I have it. It's in the cabinet. Now now I'm all fucked up. God, shit. All right. It's not funny. It's not funny. Mace Windu should have a spin-off? Sure. Yeah. Why not? Well, Samuel L. Jackson's a real old man, I guess. I don't think of him as old, but apparently he's in his like mid-70s, and I've heard people like, and I didn't pick this up when I watched Captain Marvel, and I didn't even notice that the face changed that much. I'm just like, that's just how Samuel L. Jackson looks. And they say that you could tell how old he is when he has to like lean down to like pet the cat and stuff like that. Like, Samuel L. Jackson is old. I would love to see a motherfucking Mace Windu solo series like crazy. I have Mace Windu lightsaber, which needs new batteries. Oh, Jesus. But it looks blue, doesn't it? It doesn't look purple. I wish it was more purple. And it doesn't even say bad motherfucker on the thing like it's supposed to. I think they left that off because of the stupid fucking people and their goddamn kids. So dumb. But yeah, I would love to see a Mace Windu series. Samuel L. Jackson better be alive for a long time. He better outlive me, that's what I'm saying. Oh, Black Dynamite? We were just talking about Black Dynamite the other day. I watched the I Am Dolomite trailer with Eddie Murphy, and we looked at all my blaxploitation films. Were you here, Chris? Windy film, Mega Black Dynamite in a galaxy far, far away. Oh yeah, Mace. Yeah, and Mace Windy film, Make It Black. Okay, that's a good idea. Hit yourself in the head again. Oh, with the lightsaber. Call the spin of show gangsters in space. Okay. Okay. There's no difference in flavor for Bud Light Lime after used SOX filtration. Actually, drink a Bud Light with lime. And live a little. I'm sorry, I suffer from Bud Light with Lyme disease. Give me a break! Oh my gosh. It's just nothing but player hatred in the comments. I'm going back like 10 minutes. No, 2 minutes. Oh, there's too many comments. Alright, no. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're friggin' okay.
About this character. We know little to nothing about Kylo. Just what little stories we've been told, but they're expressionless, they're blank, they're a shade of beige. No depth, nothing. But that is typical JJ.
I bought a pack of cigarettes after I went to the cancer doctor.
So I'm not
Butters.
entirely sure what
Isn't that fucking ironic?
has to do with any of that.
Why would I fucking
But
do
didn't
that?
Kathleen Kennedy say the title was meaningless?
I think The Rise of Skywalker It doesn't answer anything. It's provocative, it asks questions, and it could mean a lot of different things. And I think that that's what was important to us. We didn't want to have a title that felt like it was telling you the story.
Yeah, it just... honestly, the Mandalorian trailer was better, but I was talking to Mrs. Nerdrotic about that just about a half an hour ago, and she said that was a pretty meaningless trailer too. It was some good interconnected scenes that told us absolutely nothing. And while this tells us a little bit of what's going on, considering that it was about a little over a minute and a half long, that's how much footage we've gotten. So we've gotten a couple of minutes of footage since last December. I don't know how many trailers we had at this time, but we are not that far out from the Rise of Skywalker, and it feels like we haven't gotten a lot. But whatever. Again, I'm not excited. I never was excited.
Yeah.
And I kind of hate doing these trailer reactions.
RB, when it comes to the smoking, I still am on a roll. I just bought a pack. I bought a pack of cigarettes right after the doctor's appointment. It was crazy. I had to drive. It took like 45 minutes to drive out to the specialist, and I'm just like, I got a bunch of bad news. Like, fuck it. And I'm just like, oh, why did I do this? But I'm still off that train. Don't worry about it, guys. This is still an anti-cigarettes channel. It's a pro-vaping channel, though. You decide. You decide how you feel about that.
Because I don't know what to say. You know,
I'll be with you as well. Yeah, I did the Rambo Last Blood last night. Nightmare Fuel. Nah, I don't follow Nightmare Fuel that closely. What's next on the list? Oh, this is formerly disgraced.
The top-rated kids beds on sale.
Formerly disgraced home store Ashley. Formerly disgraced.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I'm
Andy Signor.
Today, we're talking Star Wars, and I'm sure most of you have already watched the Rise of Skywalker trailer. It just came out this morning. The footage they showed.
RB, you might as well live in communist
react
China.
To it quickly to try and beat the algorithm.
They
I decided to sit on it a little
vaping?
bit and do
What
some
the
homework
fuck?
today. I wanted to read
What the
up
fuck?
on what these theories are.
I get fucking
and I really just
blinded.
Wanted to rewatch
I
The
only
Last
see
Jedi.
red
I
right
never
now.
shared my
Where's
thoughts
the
with
camera?
you.
I can only see.
I wanted to sort of
There's
really
fucking
watch it again with some
Bud Light
time
with lime
in
all
mind,
over the floor.
and see, do I hate it as much as I think I do?
I need to find a paper towels.
Just to
Give me a
beg the
second.
question that I asked in the title of why do we hate on Star Wars so much? You know, I think there's
time out. I'm not, guys. Follow Popcorn Planet. Follow Popcorn Planet on YouTube. Andy Signor is doing some really interesting things on his him clawing back up to the trying to salvage his little old career.
There's some obvious answers.
There's a guy who talks about talks about things that don't matter. Yeah.
But there's also just sort of, for my own personal sake, why am I not excited? What is it about this that's happening now, or what was it about the last film, etc., that has made me just lose interest? And rather than have you say, I'm an idiot, I'm wrong, I'm crazy, let's try and have a real dialogue. I hope you can have an open mind as you watch this video, and we can have a civil dialogue down below in the comments. I'll get involved. And I just want us to be able to talk, rather than just saying, no, Last Jedi is a dumpster fire. Let's talk about why. Why was it a problem? Why do people like it? How does it actually progress the plot and the characters? Those are the things I want to talk about.
I like the stuff he's been doing now.
The trailer obviously is heavy on the nostalgia. I'm not just going to sit and watch it all.
And he doesn't seem to be like leaning in, like, now I'm going to like really say, like, he's just like, he's being honest, but he's not.
And it really does sort of set the tone for like, yes, woohoo, Star Wars. We know Star Wars.
He's not trying to be an edgelord, is what I'm trying to say. He's not trying to turn into
this Christmas. The story of a generation, which is true.
A big funny guy, or like just trying to
comes to
like
an
a
end.
roast, like roasting
we got
shit.
Dark red-eyed C-3PO.
Or getting
We got,
super political.
Rey
Like, he's
chucking
actually not
lightsabers.
that
We got
political at
Kylo
all about
chucking
any of the stuff
lightsabers.
he's
We
doing.
got
I
another
like that.
big epic battle that I'm sure Rey will win. Surprise, surprise. And then we got this big reveal. Oh my goodness. Are you excited, guys? Here it is. Darth Rey. It's just one of those moments that everyone's talking about, and everyone's like, well, what does that mean? Is that a spoiler? Would Disney just give that up so quickly? It's kind of a weird choice to show that the way they did, so just haphazardly. And it just made me, there was an initial like, ooh, but then there was a more frustration of me going like, yeah, that should have been back in movie 2, Last Jedi is when that should have happened. So it begged the question of, well, what's happening?
Chris,
what's
that
happening
is
with this trilogy? And so I've asked the question online because I really want to have a question of why do we hate on this film? Why do people love it? Why are people pissed? I wanted to sort of get their thoughts. I was organizing mine this morning, and I live in The Last Jedi, which was an eye opener for me because look, it didn't hold up.
England.
For me. In fact, it was worse. I can see why certain people are fine with it. It's a
So
distraction.
I don't have to worry
Look,
about.
I watched this movie.
Doesn't affect
2
me
years
either.
ago, and I was not in a very good headspace. It was literally 2 months after my life was ended and canceled. But somehow during the theater, I was able to escape the galaxy far, far away and not be
$9.32 for that fucking
distracted
pack
by
of
the stress.
cigarettes
And
I
so
bought.
I watched it, and it was something. And then I watched it again in the theaters with some family members and who were big Star Wars fans, and that's when sort of the stuff started getting confusing, and I was getting frustrated. And then I sat on it for a while. And then this is my third viewing, watching again. I watched parts of it in between when it came out on video. But then I watched it again.
Yeah, I
full
would
in a
never
sitting,
buy a pack
just
of
this
cigarettes
morning.
for $20.
And it annoyed me.
I would
It
maybe
has
buy a
potential. It
loose
has a lot of
cigarette
potential for
off
me,
of
but
someone
case in point,
at the
opening.
bar.
This opening is kind of really
If
cool.
that was
And I'm
cigarettes
like,
for
all right, great,
$20
let's
a
see this.
piece,
I
I'd be like,
Poe actually is being a badass.
If I was
And then
all
immediately Poe
loosey-goosey,
switches and
I'd be like,
becomes
here's
a
$4 for
trigger-happy
one cigarette,
fanboy.
$20 for a
Flyboy,
pack of
rather.
cigarettes.
And it's just
$10
kind
for a
of
pack of
crazy how he
cigarettes.
puts the whole
Outrageous.
fleet
It's
at
not worth
risk. He
it.
kills countless people.
$10,
And then Leia
you
gives
could
him a
feel
slap
like
on the wrist.
shit.
Oh, I still love you.
not
And then later, to continue that plot thread, Poe is a war criminal and sort of not a great character. He goes against everyone's wishes and murders more people.
To make you feel like shit.
And then,
So
Laura
smoking is
Dern, I
bad.
forget her character's name, but sort of really was in the right. And whether you liked it or not, she had an actual plan that she did. I wouldn't have told Poe either, given everything he'd
Son
been
of a
doing.
bitch.
He was overreacting. He was overly emotional. And
All right, I need
it
to
just
get
was
I
crazy.
need to
Now,
get
she
paper
probably should have
towels.
told
The
him
whole
just for the
fucking
sake
floor is
of
covered
him
in
not
Bud
doing
Light
everything
with
he did,
lime.
and it would have saved the movie a lot of time and money and lives. So I could see that criticism, but still, I could see why she didn't want to tell him also, because he was crazy. And so then he goes and murders more people and does more risk. And then Finn and Rose, who I had so much hope for in the first movie, just is like a sheep. He really is a stormtrooper. He just goes wherever they tell him to go. There's a scene even where Rose is like, no, this casino is bad. Look closer. They're bad. This is the rich people. They're not good. And then Finn's like, yeah, it was really worth destroying this city. Like suddenly, and you tell Finn what he needs to hear, and he now believes you. He's just a sheep following the herd. And it's just frustrating because both Finn and Poe, they're not good characters in this movie. I'm sorry, and they're who we're supposed to be rooting for, and the new, holding the new torch of Star Wars, and both of them have a terrible thread. Finn's about to kill himself, and then Rose nearly kills herself to stop him from killing himself, which could have killed them both. I mean, the whole thing just doesn't make any sense. It's frustrating. There's no real arc there. And then Rose, of course, falls in love with her celebrity hero, new friend. It's just weird. I don't see how any of those three characters really offered anything worthy or new or exciting or an arc that were like, yes, man, I related to that. I personally didn't. And those are my reasons why, because there's just script problems with all three of them. And then we come to Rey. And Rey is another one where she really just sort of follows wherever people tell her to go. But add to that, she has all these amazing powers that she suddenly knows how to wield. I don't want to call her the Mary Sue. I think that's unfair. That's not what it is. But I think the story does need to give her more to do. They need to sort of explain things. She's so obsessed with her parents, and then they don't even really tell us. And then they finally do and say, they're nobodies. None of it makes sense. It's just frustrating because it's like, so why are we focused on her? Oh, so anybody can do anything? Okay, yeah. It doesn't convey a strong character to me. I want her to lose something and learn a lesson. Instead, she sort of just follows everybody what they're doing. And even when thinks she's found her way and she sees the vision, Snoke did it. And then she thinks she's going to turn Kylo. No, Kylo was really leading all that. there's really no moment of hers where she's, in charge. She doesn't turn Luke. Luke finally is swayed by R2D2 to train Rey. It's just like all of it's sort of a mess. And then get to Luke. I agree with Hamill's criticisms of the character. I don't understand why he's so far gone. I can see why he might have given up, and I think that's an interesting character arc. And the whole idea of turning on Ben Solo is interesting. But we just have not seen Luke for so long. He's not in the first movie. He's gone and sort of supposed to be a master of the Force, and he just goes off into his whiny cave. And then you sit and think about it, and unpopular opinion here, it sort of makes sense to the whole character. I mean, when you go back and you realize you don't like Anakin Skywalker in the prequels, it's because he's basing it off of Luke from the first film, who's just a whiny teenager. And then Luke really never ever amounts to much of anything in the trilogy. If we're really being honest, the Vader plot line sort of distracts us because you're like, oh my God, what a twist, and that's such a challenge. But as a character himself in Return of the Jedi, etc., I don't think he really is that interesting. There's not that much that happens to him. And so now he turns back into his whiny self, and I'm sort of like, okay, yeah, go stay on your cave, dude. I don't need to see this. It's kind of a letdown. And then finally he shows up at the end, and I think that's sort of the saving grace of the film. You're like, yes, finally, what we've been waiting for. And then they sort of do this weird new Force thing that I'm not even saying isn't allowed, but just didn't make sense. It was just frustrating to come out of nowhere.
Damn
and we're
it.
just like, what? Granted, Rian Johnson justified it. He mic dropped and he explained it, and he was able to with sort of historians and the Force knowledge of Star Wars
Libraries
and stuff. And
what is this guy even friggin' talking about?
But then he just disappears and is dead, and he sort of gives up again, or sacrifices himself finally to sort of take on Solo. So even that was just frustrating. And so the whole thing, I'm just like, there's a couple key moments. The turn when Rey and Kylo are fighting Snoke and the red guards. It's a cool sequence, and I was down for it. But even then, it would have been so much more effective, especially if we're going to allude to this sort of dark Rey, if she had gone with them. Whether she decided to stay there or not, it just would have been a better end of the chapter to go, oh, damn, they really are going.
Didn't I just say this earlier in the stream? That the movie just should have ended. I think many people have made this, that they should have left on a cliffhanger when he offered, say, hey, don't turn towards the dark side. Let's fuck the dark side. Let's do our own thing. Like, they should have left it on a cliffhanger like that. But they didn't. And now they left it so it's, like, fucking pointless. And he's saying the same thing that I said.
And so where are they going with this?
Said.
Who cares? We know
exactly.
Now, I guess there's a lot of speculation that, Palpatine's clones are involved. That maybe he's cloned Rey and that she's a Force twin. All this stuff is sort of not canon anymore, and that could be why Disney replaced it from the EU because they wanted to sort of put it in the new trilogies. But then that could explain that Snoke is kind of a weird, rejected clone body of the Emperor, which is something he did in the Dark Empire comic series. He never really died. And it makes sense if you're going to bring back Solo, Luke, and all these people, why wouldn't you bring back the Emperor? It makes sense, and I'm okay with that. They need to sort of explain some bigger plot or connection to Rey or something for it just to make sense, for all the sort of threads to make a quilt at the end of the day, I think is needed. So there's still time for them to get there. I'm not saying it's impossible, but then there's things like this where they introduced time travel in Rebels. And a lot of people are worried, is that going to happen in this, where he saves Ahsoka from Vader in the Rebels scene?
Why would anyone quit smoking
weed? JJ
weed?
uses to fix time travel. I know Red Letter Media did sort of a silly prediction video, but a lot of people are wondering if this is a thing. Now, this article says it's really hard to do, et cetera, but time travel in Star Wars, that seems a little weird. So that's all the problems. Those are the reasons why we're frustrated with the film. And I think those are fair reasons why we're frustrated with the film. And it's sort of to show Darth Rey, as whatever they're going to call her, is frustrating too because it just shows Disney's nervous. Why would you reveal that? That's a twist. That's a twist or a surprise, and you just spoiled it. It's either a twist of a misdirection where it's a vision, or it's an actual twist and she's some sort of emperor being that is out there to do it. Rey's lost twin or whatever the hell it is. Cool thing that now we've now speculated about. Just because you dropped it, now fans and me, videos like me, are starting to think about, well, what could it mean? What could it mean? And that's the problem now of, I think, why Star Wars is. It's also hard to make Star Wars films because how do you please fandom? You can't.
No,
we're all speculating. We're all endlessly wondering, and so it's just it's a bigger lens and microscope to sort of combat. So that's the biggest problem here of what's happening. And so I asked this thought on Twitter, and I got a lot of thoughts, and I want to sort of break some of these down because I think they echoed a lot of my own thoughts, and I want to get these conversations going. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at Andy Signor because I want to do more of these conversations where you guys get to chime in.
I'm just kidding, RB.
But this was the extreme of the negative. I'm not saying Jar Jar Abrams and Ruin Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy deserve to die for their metaphorical no-lube sodomizing of the Star Wars franchise, but if we built a poorly shielded rocket, loaded them and launched it directly in the sun, I wouldn't shed a tear. Only reason I liked that was so I could find it. I don't agree with Dredd here. I think he's a little crazy, but it sort of shows how crazy fandom is, how divisive we get. That's one side of the coin. Here's a more rational one. Matthew said something that I had already wrote in my outline when I made this video. When you fudge the second movie so bad you have to show spoilers for the third as bait. Amen. I just said it too. In concept, this is cool, but it makes The Last Jedi feel like an even bigger waste of time. And we all know from past films how hard it is to buy into a dark side turn over the course of one movie. He's absolutely right. I mean, I didn't buy that at all with Anakin, and it was frustrating to suddenly kill younglings. And so if we're going to say that Rey's turning dark, or maybe that is a breadcrumb they want us to go down so we're not thinking of the new twist, then great. But it's a big thing they showed that we have to sort of wonder, well, why would she do that? She wouldn't, is the reality. It makes no sense that she would. It just doesn't. The movie, Luke, Yoda even, they all sort of justify that she's not ready. Kylo says, oh, I see you turning and coming with me. But Snoke did it, and clearly what they saw wasn't accurate. Snoke saw, Kylo murdering somebody, but it didn't see that it was going to be murdering him. And
why do I have the chat way over to the right when I could just put it right in fucking front of me? What do I think of Medicare leaving YouTube? I hadn't seen him really posting shit recently, to be honest. I thought I was following him, unless I wasn't. Yeah, I mean, where is the Ralph retort? Like, where's Ethan Ralph? I haven't seen them on my timeline either. Memeology, I think, used to stream the, what is it? The kill stream. What's it called? Whatever Ralph was doing. But now it's on like a different platform now, correct? Are they on D Live still? Ralph, I mean? Are they on D Live? Okay. I need to talk to Ralph. He likes cats. And I might need to run a massive campaign to save Butters. And I don't know what he's been up to lately. Does he... I don't even know if he has a presence. Because, yeah, once the kill stream disappeared from my timeline... It's crazy. Once you disappear from YouTube, you forget about BitChute. It's true. But I don't even know if they were on BitChute. D-Live is another thing. Okay. Anyway.
Both Kylo and Rey saw them working together, but didn't realize it was because of the confusion. And so both of them saw what they wanted to see out of that vision, and I think that's what happened. That's why the visions is the most obvious direction, I think, for Rey. But here's the other side of the coin. Christian says, hyped. Big Star Wars fan here. I see why people dislike the sequel trilogy, but I'm still enjoying the hell out of it. Star Wars is a series you can show your kids time after time, and they'll still be entertained as much as the parents.
Butters.
I'm excited for Rise of Skywalker. My kids aren't as excited about Star Wars. I can't speak for all kids, to be fair, but I see what they're saying. There are a lot of kids who are, and a lot of girls who love Rey. I'm all for Rey. I'm not trying to bash Rey. There's a comment coming up later. That's we'll get to that. Star Wars is a constant. This comes from Ruben. Star Wars is in constant competition with itself to come up with ridiculous lightsaber designs instead of just telling what's it called story. Rey and Kylo have fought in every movie, and I believe Rey always wins. So why do I care about seeing them fight again? I agree. It's just you got to focus on story first. And I'm not saying they aren't. We haven't seen the film, but everything leading up to this feels like they haven't. And The Last Jedi really feels like they didn't. And the biggest problem in seeing all these things, and the biggest takeaway, and something that I started with my thread, who's leading the ship? Who's steering this creative direction? I mean, Marvel had Kevin Feige, not to just always compare to Marvel, but I think people, Star Wars fans who are mad at the haters and people like me, yeah, but Marvel's no better. Come on, they relied on nostalgia. Sure, but they had someone leading the vision. There was clearly a through line. Now, they stumbled here and there. It's not perfect by any means, but they did do a pretty satisfying finale. It did rely on nostalgia, sure, but it also wrapped up those characters that we had come to love over so many films. This film sort of doesn't. I don't think they wrapped up.
What is my dog's name?
Now, granted, they have another movie. It's Rise of Skywalker. We don't know how involved he is. But even Han Solo, he didn't need to come back. I don't think he did. Leia hasn't really done anything. That scene where she becomes a ghost, Force ghost in space. I mean, what? I mean, I don't have a problem with her being having the Force, but now she's using the Force? Why didn't she use it to kill a ship earlier? They're outnumbered, everything. She used it to save herself? That was it? For what purpose? It just I don't get it. Ryan Johnson, I feel like wrote himself into a corner, and the fact that Ryan Johnson's not leading the next one makes me nervous. Because JJ wrote it with Kasdan, and then Ryan took over, and then now JJ's back to try and fix it when clearly he wasn't gonna be. Let's be honest. So it's a lot of saving face and fixing things as they go. That's not someone leading and steering a ship with a big creative vision. That's to come forward. Lucas had 3 trilogies in mind. Whether you like the prequels or not, there's a through line. He knew where it was going. He had visual things he wanted to do. That's the reality of the prequels. But there's none of that. And there must have been an outline that they didn't follow because they decided not to. And then someone went off script, and then they realized, whoa, wait, why did we go off script? Wait, go back. That's how it feels right now. That's why we fans are and non-fans are angry, because who's really in charge? Here's another one. It won't end as horribly as Game of Thrones, but that's a good comparison because I think a lot of us gave it a pass, and then suddenly we realized, oh no, it really did end poorly. This could happen too. Highest Sage, this was a really great thought. I completely agree. Yeah, I mean, looking every decision they've made, whether it's the treatment of Phasma, Snoke, the fact that they kept teasing the Knights of Ren, and even the lackluster B plot of Last Jedi, really feels like there was no plan and a waste of IP. I mean, totally. That says it perfectly. Huberto says, Rey going full dark side could be the thing that makes this film work. I, for one, would be keen to see it. Maybe Kylo is the Skywalker that needs to rise. Curious to see where it goes, but bottom line is too many things were ruined by The Last Jedi for Rise Skywalker to be any good for me. Look, I think that's where a lot of us stand, and you got to understand, Last Jedi, that's why we're frustrated, because it didn't really give us anything. And it sort of changed things, and I'm not afraid of change, just I'm afraid of things that don't make sense, or characters that do stuff that has no point. And I agree that turn should have happened, because really, who was in even charge of the movie? Did Snoke know? Did Kylo Ren know? Does Rey know? Does Luke know? Does Leia know? Does anybody in this movie know what's happening?
Somebody tell me what the heck is... Hey, there's a fight! Somebody should... Okay. Whoa! This can't be good. Hey, that's my blanket!
Hey guys, welcome back to another broadcast. Today I want to talk about our brand new friend, Visha K. Ali, or more specifically, I want to talk about how Miss Ali, the showrunner for the Miss Marvel Disney Plus show, she's like in those movies where the people get caught, the politicians or the corrupt businessmen or whatever, and they gotta burn the evidence, they gotta shred the evidence, they gotta do whatever they have to do to put it all down. So last night, I saw Halloween milkshakes. Not the one who wanted to make tweets about. Mark Wade's lawyer, Mark Zaid. Mark Wade is in a tortious interference lawsuit with Richard C. Meyer of Comics Matter with your boy Zach. Previously, Diversity in Comics. You could look into that. Just search in my library, Mark Wade, or you could search YouTube. Lots of stuff on there. Long story short, Mark Zaid, the lawyer.
Sorry.
Yes, their names rhyme. He was saying, "No, this is a great
Sorry.
piece, guys. Keep talking, keep talking, keep talking. Keep making your videos, blah, blah, blah. Mark Wade is in a great position for the lawsuit." Well, Mark Wade, Mr. Just Some Guy, black guy
I had the
from
fucking thing
Chicago,
shut off. What do you
borderline
want?
white supremacist. Mark Wade, Mr. Strong, protect the weak. All of a sudden he torpedoed
I wonder if you
social media
guys
again. Now,
grasped
this fits in perfectly.
what I was trying to say. Alright, I'll get you up to speed. The showrunner for the show Ms. Marvel that's going to be on Disney fucking Plus, she deleted 5,000 tweets and then made her Twitter completely private. And people are speculating what she was hiding. And she seems to be a racist SJW, typical racist SJW. Yeah. That's it. That's what you missed while I was muted.
With Miss Ali that we just talked about here. These people, what they like to do is they like to spout their politics on a regular basis, their radical politics, their extremist politics, and then when the spotlight is shown on them, they, boom, lockdown mode, delete mode, but you are the bad guy. Just Some Guy is the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. Richard C. Meyer is the bad guy. Even Van Sciver is the bad guy. Yellow Flash is the bad guy. Weaponized Nerd Rage is the bad guy. And on, and on, and on, and on. So if Mark Wade, if he was the strong one, protecting the weak, in his mind, the weak is the black guy from Chicago, Just Some Guy. Weird that he's attacking him. But if Mark Wade actually believed what he was saying, why would he put his account on lockdown? Now,
All right, to background on that, Mark Wade, Marvel Comics writer, he accused the YouTuber Just Some Guy, who is a black guy from the south side of Chicago, near me-ish, closer to me than any of you, that's for sure. He made a satire. Well, he made a meme where he replaced something in the word bubbles of one of Mark Wade's new comics, and Mark Wade called this black kid a white supremacist. Because he calls everyone's a white supremacist, so he might as well just start calling black people white supremacists too, I guess. Mark Wade's a fucking cuckoo clock. You could figure that out on YouTube as well. Search for yourself. But yeah.
I suppose Mark Zaid might say he had to do it. He had to. The industry veteran.
See if we can find
with
something about that.
Of fans over the course of decades. Yeah, he's actually the weak guy. Now, there's all sorts of weird doublethink and cognitive dissonance going on around here, but I digress. The point is once again, these people, whenever you put a spotlight on them, boom, lockdown. Anyway, keep following Just Some Guy. We'll keep an eye on the Mark Wade situation. Definitely the Richard C. Meyer lawsuit, the tortious interference lawsuit as well. I've said before, I cannot wait until that goes to court. If I have enough time, and a lead time, and if I have enough vacation days, I want to go down to Texas. I want to see this live. I want to do live streams about it. And I would love to be there for the verdict. Anyway,
This
guys,
is
thanks
it.
again for everything.
It burns. It burns.
I'm gonna skip past some of that.
Oh, look. I triggered.
Check out
King
Just
Baby.
Some Guy.
You know, for a
He doesn't
grown
really
man, Mark,
need
you really should
that
be
much
able to
no
take
support,
a joke.
but check out his channel. Just Some
you
Guy
wrote
is
Alex Jones into your
he's a
comic
cool
and had your
dude.
so-called superheroes blow
And
up
he's
his
Chicago
house.
guy. Gotta
For
support
all we know,
Chicago
he has
guys.
family, and they were in his house when it went kaboom. You also wrote Donald Trump into Captain America and made him look like you. All this went to print, and no one batted an eye. But for some reason, pointing out your Antifa wannabes for the violent fascist thugs that you wrote them to be is just so unfair. So let's get to this, because let's be honest, we're all here to hear the Gollum voice. King Baby wrote on Facebook, quote,
King Baby.
Hey, do me a favor and circulate some sick, borderline white supremacist nuts.
Oh, Mark. Mark. I'm black. Like actual black. Look, here's my DNA results. I'm 80% jungle bunny, descended from the purest, high-quality West African Mandingo tribes. And I've got the yardstick to prove it. So maybe you want to dial back the, quote, borderline white supremacist line, because that's technically liable, and I don't think you can afford another defamation lawsuit. But since I know you watch my videos, here's what I'll do for you. You can post an apology retracting your, quote, borderline white supremacist line. And don't worry about having to figure out what to say. You can post this. I apologize for calling the creator of the meme, who is black, a, quote, borderline white supremacist. My intention was to vent my anger, and in my petulance, I made a racially insensitive accusation. I apologize. You can post that, and nothing else. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no equivocations. And I will consider the matter done. And for your own sake, don't be stupid enough to say I claim to be black or trot out the black people you know to try to prove you're not a bigot. Exercise some self-control and keep your foot out of your mouth. I know you think it tastes good, but just keep it out your mouth for a little while. Moving on, quote,
Have fake artwork for a comic.
Look at how mentally unstable Mark
Ignited.
Wade
To
is.
use as evidence that we're using our book as a pro-violence propaganda tool.
You say I, quote, faked artwork. No, I didn't. This is Phil Briones' art. I didn't change a thing. What I changed was the text in the caption. Anyone who watches my videos would know that if the text appeared in the comic, I would have said so. So it's obviously fake and clearly satirical. You sound like Franz Lipkin bitching about this. It's a joke, and a damn good one, since no one has to explain it. Even your supporters got it. Besides, I don't need to doctor the pages to use as evidence that you and Fake Holiday wrote a, quote, pro-violence propaganda tool. I just need to show the actual pages. Like this one, where you have all the students supporting a terrorist poisoning their teachers. Here's what he says, quote, either the teachers and the administrators send a joint message by the end of today that they'll strike if this program gets forced on them, or they better be ready for an epic case of diarrhea tomorrow. This is your so-called hero threatening to poison teachers. The same teachers who were victims of the school shooting and probably saved kids' lives. They're gonna be poisoned if they don't do what this person tells them to do. Those are your, well, Kwanzaa's words. Or what about this one where you have the Antifa wannabes attack their own classmates? Again, kids who survived the school shooting and might suffer from PTSD as a result. You have your so-called heroes attack the students who are peacefully assembling. Oh, and I saw the little line where you had the speaker say that if the little terrorists don't step down, he'll tear them down. Yeah, that could be construed as threatening language.
Any
but that
thoughts on
doesn't
this,
give anyone
viewers?
the right to attack him, let alone the dozens of people just standing there.
Again,
That's what your so-called hero
check out
did. None
Just
of
Some
these
Guy
things, not one,
on YouTube.
is presented as bad.
He makes
in
way
the
better
comic.
content than
None
me.
of the main characters, not
I'm out of
one,
shit to say. That's why I'm
questions
showing
his
you other
behavior.
people, I guess.
In fact, the main character, White Bitch, whines about how the pro-gun student is, quote, dividing the school. He's dividing school by causing people to form tribes, which apparently doesn't also apply to the dipshit in the GIMP mask poisoning the teachers. White Bitch's only concern is whether the Antifa wannabes are ready to fight their friends, not whether it's wrong for them to fight their friends. This is your book. By its very nature, it's a propaganda tool, which you admit, quote,
We're proud of Ignited. It's about newly empowered school shooting victims who are pushing back against gun violence in all its forms.
Yes, gun violence such as teenagers peacefully protesting in favor of allowing teachers to open carry, or people legally selling guns. So violent. But then, you are a progressive, so speech is violence to you. Does that mean I should file charges against you for calling me a quote borderline white supremacist? I mean, my ribs are killing me from laughing at your pathetic little insult. But it's still pain. Still counts. Look at what you wrote in the books, man. Your characters use their powers to attack people who hold a political position they don't like. That's it. So far, no one has attacked them. Not in retaliation and not first. Your so-called heroes are always the ones starting the fight.
Here we go.
Hell,
Somebody's
they're not even
talking.
like Celestial Liam from Gundam 00 dropping in and stopping two sides from fighting. They're the
To tell me
baddies,
that they're leaving.
just attacking innocent people. And you present this without any condemnation. There's not a single moderate, centrist,
I
or
will say, RB,
conservative
that
voice
you're
is
wasting your
presented as
time
neutral.
sitting here
Everyone
looking at
who's in
me
the far
stare at
left
the
progressive
screen
is a
and look at the
bad
chat.
person. I mean, your little Antifa wannabe said this about his own
But
teachers.
thanks for stopping
Quote,
by and hanging
Ask
out.
yourselves if you want to see Mrs. Boswick with a Glock in her hand when a black kid says something she doesn't like. Ask Mr. Lamar if he wants to be seen holding a gun when SWAT cops come tearing around the corner. So the white teacher is automatically racist, and so are the cops. Oh, but I'm misrepresenting your book by saying these kids are Antifa wannabes.
Is a lame and pathetic death rattle from what I suspect is a wheezing, fading comics gate.
And
Oh shit.
I know it's hard, but like Antifa. Try to listen more carefully next time. I know it's hard because your head is wedged firmly up your fat ass, but make an effort. Then he says,
Is a lame and pathetic death rattle from what I suspect is a wheezing, fading comics gate.
and if so-called Comicsgate is fading, why are you worried about a video thumbnail? I mean, nobody saw it, right? If this community is going away, then it won't have an impact, right?
Mark Wade is out of his
Oh,
mind.
But it's not going away.
He's like a
is it?
14-year-old,
My video made the rounds and got
55-year-old.
noticed, and now you're pissy. Probably because it got more views than the actual comic. But he says, quote,
Ordinarily, I wouldn't give such a clownish act any oxygen. But this three-letter fake defacing some beautiful art by Bill Briones looks authentic enough to fool folks who haven't actually read
Oh,
the
I hate
story.
people who say folks. I hate
Bill didn't
people who
letter
say
the book.
folks.
I mean,
It's
you
so
keep bringing
annoying.
up his name, but you never name the actual letterer of the book. Probably because you can't be bothered to remember their name. A Larger World Studios. Yeah, okay, I don't blame you for forgetting that. That's a bad name. Sounds like some shit Kwanzaa would have come up with. But maybe I should have edited Phil's art, because people keep bringing up white bitch's baby hand. I was gonna let it slide, but you know all about how people be petty. This whole thing is over a thumbnail for a video. And like I said, anyone who watches my video will know it's not real. Actually, the general response to the comic itself was, this can't be real. People think it's a parody. And
Oh shit. I didn't mean to do that. But this is what I'm ending out the stream on. It's just some guy. Look up just some guy, Travis. Just some guy. Exactly how it's spelled. Alright. This is what we're closing out. My most viewed video on the thing. Oh shit. The end.
So I'm really into like the idea of the turning of the tides and how the last couple thousand years of human history have been so male dominated in a way that has not always served us. Clearly here we are on the brink of destruction. And so I wonder if you would say something for me. Would you say into the camera, heteropatriarchy, your wrath upon this world is over?
Oh my god.
I want it so bad. Heteropatriarchy, your wrath upon this world is over.
Hetero?
Heteropatriarchy. It's like
Hetero?
straight men ruling everything. Heteropatriarchy. Heteropatriarchy. Heteropatriarchy.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, you do your thing. You find a way.
Misogynist, sexist.
Yes.
Your wrath upon this world is
Oh.
Get him! That was the greatest moment of my life. Thank you, Kyle.
Waka waka.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see y'all next time. Stay metal, hail Satan, and all that jazz. Good night.